What up? We are back. Guess what, you guys? Girl. Y'all, 2024 is over. Today is literally the last day of me filming a YouTube video for 2024, which is crazy. 2024 is over, girl. We made it. Congrats. Thumbs up to you guys. Hit the thumbs up if we're celebrating going into 2025. So I get a lot of questions. For those who don't know, my name is Chandelier. I'm a licensed esthetician. I run this YouTube channel. I own Skin is In Studios located here in Wichita, Kansas, and I help estheticians grow their businesses by simply sharing what I'm doing in my own practice. So if that's helpful to you at all, subscribe. Now that we got our disclosures out of the way, how are you? How was 2024? How did it treat you? If it was anything like me, and hit the thumbs up if this is you, okay? 2024 treated me like a Cynthia doll, okay? It came in, grabbed me by my two little prongs of hair, whipped me around, and then set me back down. 2024 was great. I had a lot of wins, and I took a lot of L's, to be honest. In fact, if I was becoming an esthetician, opening a business, going solo, or hiring an esthetician, or becoming an educator, these are the things that I would be focusing on in 2025. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be working on in 2025, and we can potentially work on this journey together. Number one, let go of control. As an esthetician, I think one of the things that you learn very quickly in school is that you really only have so much control over the results that your clients see. You learn that a huge percentage of the results that your clients actually see has to do with home care, has to do with their life outside of the treatment room, right? And so I am taking that mindset and applying it to life and business, because in 2024, yes, I did win grants. I did the Goldman Sachs program, which was a huge win for me as a business owner. I moved my business. I had my very first grand opening. I've grown my clientele base, and I've been able to do all of that by letting go, because honestly 2024 was the first year that I really realized and understood at such a huge magnitude how little I have to do with life. And life is gonna life sometimes, and there's nothing you can really do but just show up and look cute, to be honest. And a lot of times I wasn't looking cute, girl. Let me take a little sip. Make sure you guys got some water or something. Cheers to you guys going into 2025. Ooh, that cup is unstable, baby. That shit, the lid almost fell off. Okay, 2025, not trying to play either. But yeah, so I have this metaphor that we're gonna take from here to there, and we just gonna ride with it. Act like you've been here. If you haven't. And I know y'all see the 9K in the back. We're going to talk about it in a second. But I literally had to learn how to just ride the wave. I just had to sit back and float, because the ocean's going to do what the ocean does, and you don't have any control over the tide. So say it louder for the people in the back, myself included. The ocean is going to do what the ocean does. You do not have any control over the tide. Sit back and float, okay? You sometimes can put yourself in a bigger situation or a more dire situation when you panic, or you're trying to control something too much, that you just need to let go and just see well, what happens? We gonna see. One of the biggest things that I'm going to be really leaning heavy into is just letting go. When you ain't never had nothing and you get something, you get to a place where sometimes we hold on to what we have because we're like, you know what, I ain't never had this before, I can't let this go. And you end up missing what is meant for you. It could be a life lesson. And I know we get tired of hearing that. I know we get tired, because shit, I'm just trying to come in here and sit down. I don't need a life lecture. But we do. We don't even know how much we need it. So as many of you guys know, this is where I started my aesthetics business, in this room right here. And I was so terrified to take on more expenses, because I was like, well, you know, they're really pulling the money out weekly, and this person's wanting the money once a month, and that seems like a lot. That's kind of stressful. And then I'm going to have to add in more utilities, and then there's just more overall maintenance and upkeep. And I was really scared to move my business to a bigger location. I was like, am I gonna have enough clients? Am I gonna make rent? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, is this a good idea? Like, why am I doing this? But I just felt it. And I literally almost did not do it because I was scared. And I think about all the things in my life that I almost didn't do because I was afraid. And I literally would not have accomplished damn near anything that I've done in my life if I would have just stayed with that fear that was like in me, you know? So, yeah, let go in 2025. Let go and let's see what's gonna happen for you. Let go on trying to be perfect, trying to wait till you got the master plan. Like, you're not gonna have it. What you can do is move intentionally. What's out in 2024, right, is being a perfectionist, having ultimate control. And what's in 2025 is setting intentional goals so that when stuff does happen, it is at least in the best alignment for you. I think that's easier said than done. One of the things that's going to help me that I'm making like a personal goal is reading more. A lot of you guys ask me questions about like, where can I get this education? Where can I get this education? Baby, books, real books. Hold on, let me get some books for you. Let me show you some books. Oh my God, I almost fell off the chair. Oh my gosh, you guys, I literally almost fell off the chair. So you guys are always asking me like, where can I get more education? What program can I pay for online? And sometimes I think you guys just want to waste your money. Sometimes I think you guys just want to waste your money. You're just hoping that if you buy this program or you connect with this brand, that's going to make you booked. Attaching our success and our significance to brands, that is out. We are not doing that. What we are doing in 2025 is we are attaching our success and our growth and our abundance to knowledge. Read books. I'll pop this bitch open and I will read a couple definitions of things. Or if I ever don't know a product or an ingredient that a client is telling me about, this book 9 times out of 10 has it in there. What's polysorbate 20, right? Like if you're like, I don't know what polysorbate 20 is, it literally tells you. But that's one of the books, all the books. This book is actually a journal. This is for my mind, you guys. It's got little tidbits in there that I think is really great. And also she's my friend. She's an author. I'm going to support my girl. So another book, The Best Skin of Your Life, starts here. I'm not saying that this is the book to go to, but what I'm saying is girl, read a book. Another great book that I have virtually is Black Skin. Oh, such a good book. This is also for those who are interested in becoming an educator. I'm not going to tell you like all of the requirements because they really vary based off of like states and stuff. I know my state requires a test, which for the record, if you guys are curious about my journey on becoming a licensed esthetician educator, I have completed all of my hours, which was 300 hours. I'm pretty much like at 400 hours at this point now. But I have completed 300 hours. I have scheduled my test and I will be taking my test next week. And I'm going to record that process. Well, obviously not the test portion, but I'm going to record kind of leading up to testing, what I'm doing to study, and then actually taking the test, my experience right after. So you guys can have that video to look at. But this is a book from Milady. Is from Milady, yeah? Yeah, Milady. This is the 3rd edition, so this is the one that my state tests off of for the Master Educator program. So I'm going to take this book home and study tonight. Go to a used bookstore. You don't even have to be like, oh, I'm going to wait, I'm going to order it. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Do it today or tomorrow, depending on whenever you're watching this video. If it's late at night, bitch, don't get dressed. Lay on down. But tomorrow, go to a used bookstore, grab a couple books, and pick one and start working through it, okay? And there's so many other books out there. I keep a library just for when I need to refresh my knowledge. And guys, I'm speaking as someone who has paid thousands of dollars for coursework. Not worth your time. Now, If you are going to spend money on courses, please make sure it's something hands-on so that you can ask as many questions as you need to. Also, ask about what's their follow-up and support system. Like if you're having issues, or if they're claiming that you're going to be booked or making six figures or making the best content of your life, I don't care what they're saying. What's the follow-up? How can you verify that you're getting the results? What's the guarantee? I think that that's so important, because we don't really hold these people accountable, and then they have our money and then we're just like, damn, they took our money. I don't want that happening to you. Not in 2025, baby girl. No. Come on, get your stuff. Let's go find you a home, okay? Another thing that is out in 2024. So I get a lot of questions about like, where should I invest my money? What should I spend my money on? I'm not the person, I guess, to ask on that, because I'm not going to say I'm a minimalist, but baby, everything that you see in here, baby girl, I paid for it. My money, cash, nobody else, nothing else. If I want a grant, I earned it. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that money as like being super intentional. So I wouldn't say that you need to go out and buy a bunch of things. I think that in 2025, if you're just starting your business, you really just need the basics, because you don't even know what you like. So one of the things that I would not have done is, one of the things I wouldn't have done is I wouldn't have spent the money on equipment. I wouldn't have did it. I look back now at the results that I get from my clients, and a lot of it is my hands. It's just me understanding proper products and how they can affect my clients' results. My favorite device, if you are curious, these things I use daily in my treatment room. So the Sono Silk Skin Scrubber and I don't even think they make this anymore, but high frequency tool. This is the Acnosit. I have no idea. I don't know if they make this anymore, but they do have a high frequency, a portable high frequency. Either way, I love this because it's portable high frequency and I don't have a lot of plugins. Well, I have a lot more than I had, but bitch, I be using them. I have extension cords and all that shit. So the Sono Silk is still by far my favorite skin scrubber. Some people are like, oh, don't use a skin scrubber, don't use a skin scrubber. No, you don't use a skin scrubber because you don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna use it because I know what I'm doing. I'm a licensed professional. If you are a girly who has eyesight issues, shortcomings with your eyesight, this right here is still my favorite tool for extractions and just really seeing the skin. I do all my skin analysis with this because I feel like my eyesight tells me stuff, but when you can really like get in there, magnified 10x, that's when you can see some shit. So, and it comes with the little pieces and all of that jazz, but this is my go-to. Those would be the things that I would say spend your money on. And all of that right there, all of that probably costs like $500 total max. And that's a stretch. Honestly, I would say maybe even $450, maybe $400. I would just use your money wisely. Listen, I love your business. I love the thought of your business. I love the potential of the business. I love you in school going for your dream. I love that you're going to work somewhere that is going to teach you skills. I love that maybe you want to work in a med spa. I love all of that. You know what though? We are going to let go on forcing everybody around us to love that too. Guys, I can't be more clear about knowing your target client. I don't make shit for nobody else but her. I know her so well. I think honestly, if I would say like what is the number one mistake estheticians are making, and not being someone who like obviously knows it all because I don't, but seeing it from the beginning to where I am, like I went through the process, I've opened my own business, I've grown, I've done many things that were great and many things that weren't, and now I'm teaching. So to see the whole scale, what I truly think is the thing that is holding most estheticians back is not knowing their client. Honestly, not knowing your client will have you broke. I'm gonna say some tough truths. And maybe I'm just speaking to myself, but I went into business because I wanted to help people with their skin. I wanted to help them fall in love with their skin, right? What I did not prepare for was the fact that the type of clients that I wanted to help had other obstacles, and you'll learn about this in school. It's called Maslow's Law of Hierarchy. And if those basic fundamentals aren't met, they can't really focus on anything else. And so what I ended up finding is I was having to educate people on even the need for skincare in the first place, which I thought was crazy because it's like, how could you not want to care about your skin? I mean, I know how much is done for me. Like, girl, I want you to feel this same way. Like, your skin don't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like literally on social media begging this type of client to care about it until I realized that, and this is not like knowing their budget or knowing their pocket, but being realistic with where they were in their journey. And it doesn't mean that I'm not the provider for that client, but until you see the importance of it, all I can do is really try to lead you to it, right? I can't make you drink. So I found myself like having what I call now a passion client and wanting to help her so much that I ended up really struggling. I would discount my services. I would open my schedule up outside of my business hours because that's when she was available or when she wasn't available. And then maybe she'd come, maybe she wouldn't come. And I knew she meant well. And I found myself feeling guilty for charging when they didn't. And it just was unnecessary stress, all because I didn't know who I really was meant for. And not in a bad way, because I do believe that I'm meant for her, but that doesn't mean that she's meant for me right now, right? Like, we might not be on the same page, but if things change where, let's say, I bring in an esthetician who is working at a different tier and maybe that's her price point, now we have a solution for you. That's me thinking outside of the box, not me discounting myself, but how can I get you the support that you need, but also making sure that I'm showing up for my boundaries. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for anybody watching. But so let's talk about a target client. Knowing who we are providing care for. Who are we transforming lives for? Who are we helping? Who wants us? Who needs us? Who needs us? And the minute you understand that, the minute you can really unlock some true freedom, because now you understand, like, okay, my service is a little bit more of a luxury, right? It's a little bit more of something where it's like they've got to be in the place where they will not experience financial hardship by purchasing services from you. They understand the importance of the journey and what type of service provider you are. Are you someone who's like, come get a facial for relaxation? Or are you someone who's like about to transform their skin, right? I have a client who's a new client. She just became my client. I'm not even really taking new clients right now, but she has heard about my services, word of mouth, and she has been following my journey for a long time. These are key points that I'm going to come back to later. And she was like, hey, she sent me a message and she was like, hey, I'm trying to book with you. And I'm going to show you guys the message. She's like, hey, I'm trying to book with you, but like, you are all booked out. And then she sent a sad face. And I was like, yeah, I book up really quick. But what, talk to me, tell me what's going on. So she really wants to book her man an appointment and herself, and recognize that she's like my target client. She's of the age of the clients that I want. She understands and respects the need for appointments, even though she could have booked beforehand. She's just now getting here, right? So I can't fault her for that. Sometimes people catch the bandwagon a little later, And so I responded with this. Hey, if you guys are willing to pay everything up front right now, I can get you on the books and open up a day for you and give you guys the desired time that you want. You will have to pay my squeeze-in fee. Well, I don't call it a squeeze-in fee. Well, I do call it a squeeze-in fee, but really it's a luxury fee because it's a luxury. Like, people aren't just like pulling up and walking into the building to get an appointment by me. So in order to do that, you would need to also pay the luxury fee to be able to book this appointment. And I sent it over because I thought, if I am going to compromise on my boundaries, then I need to have more of an understanding or a benefit of why am I showing up? I'm not showing up for appointments that aren't going to come, or maybe they do come, or maybe they don't understand the value. I'm just not doing it. Do you know that she paid that invoice in that moment? In that moment. That client is my ideal client. She booked, paid the invoice. She is on my reoccurring schedule. She is no longer a new client. She is now a reoccurring client. She got herself into that. And here's what I'm trying to tell you. If they wanted to, they would. Okay, because they are for other things. They are doing it for other things. And so it's important that you are clear for yourself, like what matters to you. And let's talk about my passion client. So my passion client, I love her so much. She has been a client of mine for a while. She comes inconsistently AF. I don't know when I'm gonna see her, but she's got a lot on her plate. She's got 3 small kids, all under the age of 5. She is a working single mom. She is, one of the head of households for her family. So she's taking on even more stress, and she has really congested skin. Like, her skin needs some love. And I know she understands the benefit of it, but she can't get past the other portions of her life that are really holding her into that space. I explained the pricing, what I can do for that price, if that's the price that she needs, because I recognize that some people started with me when I had, again, nobody, right? So I explained the pricing to her and what I can do for that price point, because things have changed. I'm no longer doing services for that same amount or whatever. And I've also taken time to really understand, like, every time she messages me does not mean she's gonna book, right? And so instead of being like, let's get you booked, let's get you booked, let's get you booked, I always put it back on her. Yeah, go use my booking site. Well, when you're ready, book on my site, because she wants access to me, but I can't give her the level of access that she wants until she understands my boundaries. And if I compromise on that now, then I'm just gonna keep finding myself in the same situation. And it actually ends up hurting me, because I hate turning people away. I get sad about it. But I can't do it for that. I can't just come whenever. You can't just get on the books today and yesterday was the day you thought about it. Like, I have so many other people who are literally waiting in rotation. That would be unfair to all of my loyal clients. She's my passion client. And when opportunity opens, or I keep her on a wait list, and pretty much what ends up happening is I'll shoot her a message. Hey, I had this open up. Somebody canceled, they rescheduled, they moved. Do you want the appointment? No? Okay, cool. We keep it moving. Otherwise, you are more than welcome to book on my site. Those are the only 2 options. And that I had to literally take, I'm telling you, I had to take my passion client. As much as it killed me, I had to say, like, okay, we're not serving each other right now, because I want to help so many people, but I can't help anyone if I'm not in business a year from now. I can't do it. I can't. So I have to prioritize the clients who prioritize me. Ooh, girl, that was a word. I say that to say, if you have not taken the time and you're like thinking to yourself, what am I going to do in 2025 that's really going to change my business? The program that I've literally learned this concept from was created by New York University. So now, I never went to college, you guys know that. So I'm a hustler out here. I'm literally telling you what I've done. And so what I understood is that other businesses, they get this model. They know who they're talking to. So they market that way. Everything that they do revolves around their value proposition statement. It revolves around their core values. It revolves around what their ideal client is looking for and the solution that they provide for that. I want you in 2025 to let me know, how clear are you on that vision? Who is your ideal client? How old is she? How much money does she make? Is she married? Is she divorced? Does she have kids? Where does she live? What does she do on her free time? Where does she shop? Where will you find her? What does she like? What does she hate? What are her views on politics? What type of music does she listen to? What does she do when she's sad? What does she do when she's happy? Where does she go? What type of hobbies does she like to do? You need to answer all of those questions. You need to know every single thing about her. And then when you know that, you can go and use that information. You can show up, you can market to those type of people. Like, for example, my target client, she's over 50. She's either in a transitional period. 40s is the transition time, in my opinion. It's when people's bodies and their hormones start changing. So I prefer my clients to be 40 and up. Either they're making great money for themselves, they are making at least $60,000 to $75,000 a year at bare minimum, by themselves, not including their spouses or anything like that. Just that's what they're making for themselves. Their kids are typically grown, going to church. She probably gets her hair and her nails done. She's kind of in a place where she's getting a little bit more time to take care of herself. She likes to dance, listen to music, go out of town, you know, really just hang out with her kids. Her and her husband, her partner, her best friend, they like to go to concerts. And she just likes to, you know, enjoy life. And she's in a place where maybe she hasn't been able to prioritize herself for the first time ever, but she is today. And she found me by watching um, um, a video, and she saw somebody talking about skincare, and she thought, oh my gosh, let me look up some skincare spas in my area. She Googled and she found me online. She read my reviews. She went to my booking site and she booked an appointment. That is how well I know my client. Her name, I call her Linda. And I love Lindas. I do. I love them so much. And I have 3 different client type profiles. The car they drive, like Linda, she drives a nice, cute SUV. Like it's white, it's laced out. She gets a new one every year. Her and her husband, they lease them. They don't even pay for them because they don't, and they've got one car that's paid off, right? And they're chilling. That's my client. And I make content for her. I show up for her. I deliver for her. I provide solutions for her, and I get her results. And she loves me. She loves my business. And we are more than just clients at this point. I'm a part of her life. And I'm saying that because when I get a lot of questions about, like, I think the number one question that I get is, after I graduate aesthetic school, what should I focus on so I can be successful in this industry? And I feel like it's such a loaded question, because like, what? All of it? But if I was to give you my honest advice, that would be the thing. Know your client, know her, know him, know them, know they. Know that information like the back of your hand, like you know your business. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, if you don't know that, you don't know your business yet. If you're like, I'm trying to figure out what skincare brand I need, you shouldn't be trying to figure that out at all yet, until you know who you are figuring it out for. So those are the things that we're going to really prioritize. That's what I would recommend if I was literally starting over from scratch. And I feel like that would be the difference maker. That's what keeps me booked. It's what makes me stand out, because I care about so many other aspects than just the facial. And I just want you to figure out, like, what is your signature? How do you show up? How can you help? How do you know your clients? And stop overspending. We're not just giving our money away for free. And 2025 is going to be a good year, you guys. So, okay, 9,000 subscribers, you guys. 9,000 subscribers is honestly insane. I look back at my journey and what all I've been able to accomplish, and bitch, you know, it ain't a video by me if I don't get on here and cry, but this year was such a hard year, losing someone so special, and then just going through the ups and downs of running your own business. There were so many times where I just thought, like, maybe I should stop, you know? But it's actually this channel that keeps me going. So when I tell you that you inspire me, like, I'm not making that up. I really mean it. When I tell you I'm literally like you, I am just another Black girl trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? So to see others of us out here, and not even just Black people, like just people who want to change their lives, and that I play some small factor in that, like 9,000 people. Girl, that's crazy. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully you guys found some tidbits in it. I know I didn't show you any services, and sometimes I feel like I should try to be like other creators, but I feel like there's enough of that. What can I do that can really help you, like, get out of your own way? And I know we all need a cheerleader, and so if you don't have anybody cheering for you, I am rooting for you. So, all right, I love you guys. We're gonna kill it in 2025. I'm so proud of you and everything that you're about to accomplish and everything that you've been through to get here. Take a second and let's go get it. Bye, guys.